So in our previous tutorial, we set up our dialog container to pop up via code um, whenever we were in contact with the desk. Now, excuse me, when we come out to the kingdom, there's nothing to really test here and to bring our dialog container up. Plus, there's another issue that we still need to address, and that has to do with layers again. Now, in our main event, you may recall when we were creating our inventory container, layers are not global in the sense that once you make them up here, like we have 3 layers right now, the base layer, dialog, and inventory, they're not global in that when you create a new scene, they automatically carry over. So you'll note in the kingdom, we only have 2 layers. So let's add another one, and let's keep this consistent for our code. Let's call this one, whoops, excuse me, dialog. Okay. Now, when we hit preview, I would imagine that this is just going to show up on the screen and just kind of linger there. Right, and that's because we don't have any code to dictate when this should be up or when this should be gone. But there's another issue, though. The text dialog is not appearing here. Let's see. Anytime text or some object is not appearing, it's likely because of a Z order issue. Let's go to our inventory creation. Okay, and that's when we created our dialog container down here. Let's add a sub condition to this, and we'll do this as a trigger once also, because we only need this to happen one time. Let's check our let's create a Z order for our text dialog object. Doesn't need to be much. There isn't anything really on that layer. Let's see if that did it. Okay, great. So now we just need to add some code so that it knows when to pop up and when to go away. Let's go into our collisions here, right? Actually, let's not do that. Let's do this first. I want to add a new sprite here. So I'm starting to think about how I want this overall larger scene to work. And one of the things that I'd like to do is I'd like to have signs outside people's homes. So let's give Bob a sign. And I created this little 32 by 32 sign. Again, just using Paint 3D, not menus, maps. Here's the house sign. Let's hit apply. And let's drag that onto the screen. We'll place that right there. And what I'd like to happen is when Bob hits the space key and he's in collision with the sign, I want it to pop up a dialog that says, you know, this is my house, that kind of thing. And when we start creating other little neighbors, I want them to have signs as well. Now, where we're going to store that information is, of course, in a variable, but you want to always think about the scope of your variables, and the scope being how far it's seen. Now, does that need to be seen by the entire program? No, not really. Does it even need to be visible to our scene? Well, not unless you're getting important information for your plot from this. So then the next level would be just the object variable, right? Where you just can store information for that object. And I think we're just going to do that. So let's right-click on Bob House Signs, and let's edit object variable. And we want to be consistent with this because we're going to have multiple signs. So we're going to do Bob sign reads. And what do we want Bob to say? In quotes, he'll say, "This is my house. Man, I need to clean my siding. Okay, let's go to our code. We'll go under conditions here. Let's add another event. Let's move this underneath collisions, and let's just copy this one up here and adjust it. So when Bob is in collisions with Bob House Signs, let's copy this, paste. We want to move Bob away from Bob House Signs. Okay. And let's go ahead, because we're going to add a little bit more code here for the dialog part. Let's make it a group. Let's keep this going the right way here. We'll call this Bob's sign. And let's add a sub condition here, sub event. And we'll say when he's in collision with Bob House Signs, we want to do and the space key, so key released, space key, there it is. We want to change the text of the text dialog. Remember, order matters here. So you want to change the text first before you show the layer. So let's modify our text dialog. And let's set it equal to our local variable, which is common expressions for all object variables, object variable, and the object is Bob House Signs, excuse me. The variable is Bob Sign Reads, and we're going to keep these. We're going to make at least one more neighbor, so let's keep this consistent here. Okay, so we've altered the text. Now we need to show the layer. And we want to bookend this so that when he's not in collision with Bob House Signs, the dialog layer will go away. Because right now, I'm assuming it's still going to just show our dialog layer. Yep. And then let's see if we do this. Yeah, changes it, but it still stays there. So let's bookend this. Let's go here. Let's add another empty event. You want to keep this on the same level as that, right? And let's just copy this, paste it, and let's invert it. And instead of showing the layer, we want to hide it. Whoops. There it is. Okay, now it should be set up correctly. Okay, it's gone. All right, there we go. Our dialog container is working now in our kingdom as well.